Going on, guys? Got some people coming on in. Good stuff. Good to see you guys all on here. You guys feel free to unmute yourselves. Let me know that you can hear me okay. And I wanted to see you guys. What's going on, Tyler?
How's it going?
Hey, doing good. And looks like we got Kelly on here. Kelly, can we hear you?
I am here.
Perfect. Jason, can we hear you?
Hey there.
Yes, sir. And Will, how's it going, Will? He's unmuted right now. Can you hear us okay, Will?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. I'm gonna get us started up into this thing, and we'll have a little conversation today to actually start this up. Let me make sure this is proper. Okay. And you guys can see my screen okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I want to get into it, guys, with a little conversation. So last week, if you were here or you watched the video, I gave you guys a challenge, and that challenge was to track your daily protein for 7 days and to hit 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight during that 7 days. So I wanted to just ask around the room who was actually able to track their protein over the last 7 days.
I did not track my protein.
Hey, thanks for the honesty, Kelly. You're probably not the only one.
So I didn't like track it, but I've got a good handle on it, I guess, so to say. So I didn't use like the app, but I guess more of like in my mind tracking type of thing. So
Yep. And what I'll say too is Tyler's been with us for a little while now at this point, and he's been working on this habit for a little while. So that's the point that I want you guys to get to, is to a point where you can be like Tyler and you can know that you're getting enough protein in the day. Say he's hitting 180 grams of protein a day, and he knows that just based off of the stuff that he's eating. He doesn't actually need to put it in the app. How about you, Will? I know your situation's a little bit unique right now.
Yeah, I've been tracking it, but I haven't been hitting it.
Right.
Just the situation can make it hard to get that much in a day.
Sure. And Will's in the same boat as Tyler. He's been in this for a while, and his situation's a little unique right now because he has to do an all liquid diet for a little while. So we've been working through what that can look like to get his protein in, but obviously that's a lot more challenging than when you can eat meat and things like that. And Jason, I'd love to hear from you.
Yep. So I've been tracking it. I've been using the app to kind of keep track of everything that I've been eating. So it's been good to kind of get an idea of what meals I should be eating, kind of will get me to my goal for the end of the day.
Yes, big time. And Jason's new to the program. He's only been in for a couple weeks now. So if you're new to the program, that's really where you got to start. You got to start tracking, and over time, you're going to get to a point where you're really confident with this, and you can be like Tyler and Will and Kelly. You're probably getting there too, where you're getting really confident with how much you're getting. You guys, any questions or any recap on that?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're gonna get into it today, guys. We're talking about sleep today. So I wanted to give you guys just a reason why does it actually matter? Why is this part of the habits? And I wanted to just encourage you guys and inspire you guys to keep on focusing on getting that 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep because, like we know, these habits are something that we have to put a lot of intentionality into at first, but over time, we get to a point where these are part of our life and they're habits that we just live by automatically. So it's a hard process, but when you get there, it's a very rewarding and it's very worth it, and it's going to stick with you guys for the rest of your lives. So, why does sleep matter? Well, it's vital for muscle repair and hormone balance. It impacts your focus, fat loss, and immunity. And sleep is really where physical transformation truly happens in your body. If you look into some of the studies and some of the things with sleep, it's really kind of crazy how when you're sleeping, your body is actually recovering and repairing. They actually have studies that show that people who get proper sleep, have a less likely chance of developing cancers and even things like that because your body destroys those cells during sleep, those cancer cells and the things that your body has to fight off, your immunity, all is boosted when you sleep properly. So you guys know the big four health habits. Number one of them is sleep. And the goal is to get 7 to 9 hours of that quality sleep every night. Now, when you're in that deep sleep cycle, that's when your body is physically recovering. When you're in that REM cycle, that's when your brain and emotional recovery is going to happen. And ultimately, sleep is going to provide energy, clarity, and an environment that you guys can actually operate in peak performance, making sure that your training is effective and that you guys are just effective and energized in your everyday life. Now, this is a slide that's kind of fun, right? We're talking about sleep and gains, okay? Muscle gains. That's bodybuilder talk. Ultimately, science behind the guideline. Growth hormone, which is it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the responsibility for muscle growth and just healthy bodily function. That peaks while you're in your deep sleep periods. So, inadequate sleep is going to also reduce protein synthesis. Um, the non-science way of saying that is it's going to reduce your ability to grow muscle. And muscle breakdown is going to increase when you are sleep deprived. So here we go. And it's poor sleep is going to equal fat gain, unfortunately. And that's because of an increase in cortisol, which is your stress hormone. It also is going to affect you hormonally, and it's going to elevate your ghrelin, which is your hormone that shows you how hungry you are, and it's going to lower your leptin, which is your satiety hormone that says, hey, we are actually full right now. So sleep has an adverse effect on fat loss, and it makes you much more susceptible to fat gain. Last thing it's going to do is it's going to slow the metabolism and it's going to reduce your motivation, right? When you are not properly rested, you don't really want to go work out as much as you would if you had a good night's sleep. Mental performance and mood. Sleep is going to sharpen the mind. So not only physically is it beneficial, but also mentally, we're going to enhance our memory, learning, and focus. Lack of sleep is going to lead to more irritability and stress, and better sleep is going to lead to stronger emotional control, which is going to also translate over into the way that you eat through the day too, right? If you have an emotional attachment to food and you eat when you're feeling a certain way and you overeat when you're feeling that way, if you get better sleep, that's going to happen a lot less and give you a better grasp on that emotional control. So, some common sleep disruptors. What's robbing your sleep? Blue light, phone screens at night, drugs like caffeine or alcohol, inconsistency of sleep schedule, and stress. So, some optimization strategies that we can implement. Number one is establishing a night routine to wind down, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. No screens 1 hour before bed. A cool, dark, quiet bedroom. No caffeine past 2 p.m. A consistent sleep wake time. So, why does this connect to the big four? How does this connect? Well, hydration, if we have poor sleep, that's going to likely lead to dehydration. Protein, sleep is going to support muscle repair and movement, right? More sleep equals more energy equals you're going to take more steps through the day. So, action step for you guys this week. We've had conversations about a wind down routine. Now, this week, our goal is to create and stick to a bedtime routine. And I want to show you exactly what that looks like here in the next slide. And we're going to track hours and quality of sleep, and we're going to optimize our sleep environment. So, specifically this week, our challenge is to get 7 nights of 7+ hours of sleep in a row. Okay, we're going to track our results. A lot of you guys have watches that automatically upload them into the app, which is really cool. And next week, we're just going to share how that impacts our energy, our focus, and ultimately our recovery, right? Next week, we'll talk about the wins and challenges that come with that. And we can also give each other some sleep schedule tips and just some personalized feedback to see how everybody did this last week. That's all I got for you guys. I'd love to hear some feedback. How do we feel about our current ability to hit that 7 to 9 hours a night? What do you guys think?
I can do 7.
Yep,
The 8 and 9 gets to be tough.
I hear you.
Um, and there's so many mornings when I update my app
Yeah.
and it's like, 7 hours and 17 minutes. I'm like, well, crap, I can't click my, I
Mm,
can't check that off for the night.
Yes.
And
And, yeah.
that happens a lot
Yeah.
where I
And I,
hit 8.
yes. And I should clarify on that, Kelly, because I do actually, so two things with that. Number one is I need to actually clarify with you guys a little bit better because right now it says 8 hours of quality sleep per night.
Mhm.
I actually want to make that 7 to 9 because science does show that if we're getting 7 to 9 hours, that's going to be a really good spot for us. So I shouldn't have been so specifically saying 8 hours. So if you are getting 7 to 9, I do want you to check that off. Um, if you're getting that from now on.
Okay.
And I apologize for not being clear about that in the past. And number two is if you guys are wearing a sleep tracker, like I wear a Fitbit, Kelly, I think you wear something like that as well.
I do have a Fitbit. Yep.
You have a Fitbit, yes. And so what Kelly's Fitbit does, and my Fitbit and everybody's tracker, is it's actually going to track your sleep, but that doesn't mean that it's going to get the whole bedtime routine. For example, if Kelly's going to bed at 9 p.m. and she's waking up at 5 a.m., that's an 8 hour block. But her Fitbit is only going to track the hours that she's technically actually sleeping. So every night there's going to be about 30 to 40, 45, maybe even to an hour of time where you are in bed trying to sleep, but you're technically awake and you're
Hmm.
kind of moving a little bit, right? So that can throw people off too. And Kelly, I want to encourage you specifically with how your tracker is. If your tracker is getting you at least 7 hours, check that box off.
Okay.
Yep. I'm glad you brought that up. What do you think, Tyler, where are you at with this?
So sleep's been pretty good. Last week, not so great. I need to I have a hard time sleeping with my watch on. I don't know. It's just a
Mm,
weird habit. So I'm still trying to get comfortable with that piece of it.
sure.
So I need to do better at that piece.
Okay.
I mean, for the most part, I've got a pretty good sleep routine. Every once in a while, of course, it gets thrown off, but it's pretty standard in regards to like in bed by 9, asleep by 10, and then
Yeah.
I'm usually awake by 6:30,
Okay.
if not 6 o'clock. So like
Yeah.
I know I'm getting the hours, but I do want to see like how much is actually quality sleep because I'm a very light sleeper. So I'm
Got it.
curious what that looks like.
Okay. Got it. And yeah, with you, Tyler, I mean, that's really good that you got that routine down. And that's the biggest thing that I want to encourage you guys with is that routine. So, Tyler, what I'll say to you too is it is cool to see, specifically what the watch says about how much sleep you're actually getting. But what I'll tell you too is if you're losing sleep or you think that it's causing you to get a little bit less sleep by wearing the watch, I'd highly encourage you, man, to just don't use it. There's no worries because I'd rather you get quality sleep rather than actually track it on the app with the watch telling me exactly the amount of sleep that you got. Um, because yeah, if you have a routine where you're in bed by 9, you're sleeping by 10, and then you're sleeping at least until 6 o'clock, you're crushing it because you
Yeah.
have, you have that 8 hour window. That's the biggest thing is create yourself an 8 hour window that you give yourself to be sleeping. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that does. It's weird. I don't know. It's kind of my routine to like before I get in bed, I take my watch off, charge it. It's just like
Yeah.
habit, plug my
Good.
phone in type of thing. And so
Yeah.
I do want to see it. So I will challenge myself this week to wear it at night and see kind of what happens.
Okay. Give it a shot. We'll see what happens, and then you can kind of go from there. But my wife she's got the Fitbit, and these are great. I have a Fitbit as well, and they're great, but Malachi's now sleeping in his own crib, but when he was sleeping with us, she would pick him up and pat him when he'd cry or move. And whenever she did that, her Fitbit would light up and it would just make the whole situation not good. I'm not wearing this anymore.
Yeah.
So I get it. There's some difficulties with the watches too. And Jason, how's it going for you? I know we talked a little bit, and Jason is very busy man, and basically his goal is a little bit more personalized. We're trying to get Jason I think we talked about getting at least 6 hours through the week, and then on Sundays, Jason's gonna sleep in a little bit. How's that going for you so far?
Yeah, I think Sundays I can get 8 hours in, but in on average, I'm like five, sometimes four a night. Like I'm really low. It's been difficult to get work done at night, and then I'm trying to start my day earlier, get the devotion in and working out, and it's been a struggle for me to get even to seven. So
Yep. Yep. How
I'm
about
working through it.
did when we made the goal, Jason, did we say we're gonna try for 6? Was that right?
Yeah, I think it was try for six and then make up for it on Sundays and kind of do a kind of reset on Sundays and kind of balance it out.
Hmm. And everybody is unique in that way. What's really great about these kind of calls is we can get on these and we can have these conversations. We talked with Jason, and it just seemed like there's not really an opportunity for him to get for him, especially to get 8 hours of sleep during the week. And that's going to happen. Like there's going to be situations where you just can't. So we want to maximize what we can. So what we said for Jason is we're going to shoot for 6 hours during the week. And that's his goal is make a 6 hour period. And Jason, I'm going to challenge you with that too. Is do that this week too. Shoot for the 6 hours of a night per week. And what I want all you guys to do this week is to set that sleep schedule in place. So for Jason, for example, he's a little bit unique. So he's just going to get a 6 hour period, and we're going to say, okay, now what Jason's going to do is he's going to say from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. is my sleep period. And that's when I sleep. I have my 6 hours scheduled in there. And now I can go about actually trying to do that. Now I have a game plan. And same thing for you guys. So, like Kelly, do this, and Tyler and Will do the same thing for an 8 hour period, right? Say you have from like Tyler, he's going to bed at 10 o'clock. And I actually really like how Tyler's doing it because he's like, I'll be up for an hour, but he'll be sleeping by 10 o'clock and he'll be up at 6 o'clock. All of you guys do that this week. That's your challenge. And that's what I want you to really try to stick to. And I want to give you one more little tip on that is there's something called sleep debt. So it's kind of funny. It's just like financially, you can go backwards on your sleep. You can actually get to a point where you need to catch up to get uh back to your 0 point, really. And so Jason, unfortunately, through the week right now, he's unable to get that full amount of sleep. So he's actually gathering a little bit of sleep debt through the week. So what we can do on Sunday is he can really just be like, I'm gonna get as much sleep as I can on Sunday and kind of catch up with some of the sleep that he missed. And that actually has been shown to uh, improve. So it kind of does catch you back up a little bit. So if that's kind of a situation you're ever in, just know that that's something that you can imply and you can apply to. Will, what do you think? Where are you at with this? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Right now it's a struggle to get it.
Okay.
Just with the crap I've been dealing with.
Yep.
Just I got to figure out a time when I can stop basically, essentially, what time do I need to stop drinking liquids by? Because otherwise, with it not going to my stomach and going very slowly,
Yep.
I just wake up in the middle of the night coughing and hacking up my lungs
Right.
if I drink or eat or anything way too late at night. So
Yep. Yep.
I haven't quite figured out what that time is yet.
Okay. Yeah, and like I was saying to you guys, Will has a very unique situation. He's going all liquid right now, and just some medical stuff that he's working through right now. So that's kind of a funky situation. But it'll be interesting, Will, to hear what you kind of discover through this because it'll help some people too that go through this as well down the line. If somebody goes through this, God forbid, I know it's not fun for you.
It sucks.
Right. So, and hopefully no one actually does go through this. I don't think anyone will, but um, anyway. Yeah, well, you got to just find that time. It's going to be the same thing like when we're saying, okay, 1 hour before bed, we're putting all the screens away, we're not having any
Yeah.
screens. You got to do the same thing for liquids, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Once
kind
I
of
figure out what
funky.
that time is, it won't be hard.
And you're very, you're going to know that more than I am too. Like maybe you got to practice 1 hour before bed. I'm not doing any liquids and just see how that goes. That might not be long enough. That might be perfect. you'll kind of
Oh,
see
yeah,
it.
we're up to 4 already.
What's up?
We're up to 4 hours already.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's all slow. It's getting into my stomach. It's 4 or 5 hours ahead of time. I got to stop drinking stuff.
Wow. Okay. So you're going about is 4 hours working pretty decent for you so far?
And sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just doing what you can right now
Yep.
to get as much sleep as you can. Yeah. And that's going to be another unique situation, right? Because what Will's got going is that's going to obviously affect his ability to get a gallon of water in a day, too, right? So what's great, again, I'll say it about these calls and about you guys being clients is that we can have these conversations where it's extremely individualized. And if you guys ever have something also, if you have something like Will's got going on right now, very specific situation. Tyler had something come up recently. You guys call me individually, or shoot me a text individually, and we'll set up a time to do a call. And we can give you very personalized advice on that kind of stuff too. Okay. Now, okay, we got the sleep stuff. So I want to ask guys, is there any other questions about the program, about the workouts, about anything that's come to mind?
Derek, did you have a chance to look up anything with the gluten-free or dairy-free as far as trying to get more protein? When I can't eat yogurt and cheese, it is hard.
Yes.
I do still do protein shakes,
Okay.
usually once a day.
Yep.
If I'm really short, I'll do one in the evening too before I go to bed.
Okay.
Um, so I'm not exact. I looked up different things, but I just thought maybe you had a little more insight on that or knew where I could go.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that question. You sent me that a little bit earlier in the week.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you, Kelly, and are you doing gluten-free, dairy-free right now? Is that your
I I'm just starting my, let's see, this will be my third. I just completed my second week actually, so it's still
Okay.
a little new to me.
Got it. Yep. And is it kind of under like doctor's orders? Are they kind of like you should try this?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, gluten-free, dairy-free, it definitely makes it harder. You've clearly seen that, right?
Yeah.
With that, it's going to be really tough to get that 1 gram per pound of body weight, but actually, it won't be impossible because gluten-free, dairy-free, you can still eat meat,
Yes.
right? So,
Yes.
meat is going to be your number one best friend on this process. And ultimately, you can have fruit, right? You can have fruit,
I can have some fruit. Yep.
some fruit, okay. And you can have vegetables. Is that right?
Certain ones.
Certain vegetables. Okay. So for the protein specifically, you're going to want to focus on getting the meat in.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how much meat you're eating right now, but one way to think about it is basically four ounces of meat. You can basically say that's going to be 25 grams of protein. So what you can do is you can go, okay, 1 pound of meat is going to be 100 grams of protein, right?
Okay.
Sounds like a lot of meat.
Yeah.
I eat about a pound of meat per day. Um, it's a majority of what I end up eating is meat. Um, Now, Kelly, if you're trying to get 150 grams a day, I'm making that up, but that's probably around um, what you're trying to get. Is that right, or am I a little high?
140.
140. Okay. Yep. So, technically, if you eat a pound of meat a day and you do literally one or two protein shakes,
Hmm.
that gets you there,
Okay.
right? Does that sound absurdly high to you or not really?
No, I don't think so
Okay.
because um I do tend to have meat probably on a good day, twice a day.
Yeah.
And I think it was Will that said that he's not actually tracking it in the app or
Yes.
not sure how he said it, but in his mind, he knows kind of where he's at with it,
Yeah.
with the protein. And I think that's kind of where I am too.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't honestly write it down like I should.
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe right now, Kelly, you should just for a little bit, just to make sure with the new diet that you are getting the right amount.
right.
And I'll say this too. So you're eating meat twice a day. Let's say for lunch and dinner, you
Hmm.
have meat. What you could also do is you could go, okay, for breakfast, I'm gonna have eggs. And if you have the equivalent of 4 eggs for breakfast, that can be 2 eggs and 2 egg whites. That could be, you could do whatever combination you want of eggs and egg whites. You could do all eggs. You can do whatever combination you want. But if you have 4 eggs total, that's going to get you your 25 grams in the morning. And then if for the rest of the day, rather than doing a full pound of meat, you could do 3/4 of a pound of meat between lunch and dinner. So almost like a little more than a third a pound for both, or like a quarter pound for lunch and a half a pound for dinner. And you do a protein shake in the day, that's going to get you there too, right? Breakfast is eggs, lunch you have some sort of meat, dinner you have some sort of meat, making it 3/4 of a pound of meat and a protein shake. You'd be hitting your protein.
Makes sense. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Derek, have you heard of Frog Fuel, which is like a protein pouch?
Whoa, I don't think so.
So I'll send you this picture. But Kelly, it's a gluten-free thing, and I don't remember who gave me this. I haven't tried it yet, but it made me think about it because I can't do like milk, so I do like a lactose-free milk protein shake that helps me out a little bit. But this pouch that my buddy gave me or whatever, I'll shoot you a picture of it and you can kind of look at it. But
Sweet,
I mean, it's 15 grams of pure protein and 22 aminos. And
sweet.
so, like I said, I've not used it, but I'll shoot it to you and maybe you can share it with her. I don't know if
Yes,
it's good or bad or what. It has like 60 calories, but it's just like a little pouch that you can carry with you and just chug.
cool.
So, I don't
Right.
know.
I like that. Tyler, do us a favor and just send that in the group chat
Okay.
on the app, and everyone can see that. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Let me
Awesome.
see.
Throw it in the iron sharpens iron one because that's gonna have everybody.
Okay.
Yep.
I
Cool guy.
can't do milk as well. Like it just doesn't kind of sit well with me. But I've
Mm.
been doing raw milk,
Oh,
and
okay.
interestingly, it doesn't affect me at all.
Hmm.
Wow.
It was not, it's which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did it for the last week, and I think I went through maybe a gallon because I use it for my protein shakes, and it
Wow.
doesn't affect me at all, which is very interesting.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Yeah.
worth trying if you know, lactose tolerant or, you know, milk. Just it's crazy. Like it's doesn't affect me at all. So I was like, I might keep trying to do this.
That's
So
good.
we'll see.
Personally, Jason, I love that the raw milk idea. Um, it's you need to know a farmer to get it. So you guys definitely need a connection for that. But that is definitely an option too. I know for some people that works really good because it's just natural milk. For other people, there is a genuine lactose intolerance, and the raw milk is still going to have lactose in it. So if you have a genuine lactose intolerance, you're going to want to use something that has the lactase in it. Tyler, do you know the brand name of the milk that you have that's lactose free? Is it Lactaid?
Yeah, I think it's called Lactaid.
Okay.
That one's a little more expensive. They have like a generic Walmart brand one too.
Okay.
So the one that I have now is actually it says no and love lactose free.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, so that's kind of two options. I like Jason's idea personally. That's where I go to, but you got to find out too. If you have a genuine lactose intolerance, you're going to want to have a Lactaid, something like that. But some people, I think that they have a lactose intolerance, but then they do like an actual raw milk that's like a natural state, and they're like, "Oh, I just had an issue with some of the stuff they were doing to the milk. I didn't even really realize." So that is something worth checking out. If you're up for a little adventure. Just-
It's definitely an adventure because it's probably based on state laws, but it literally says one thing, not for human consumption, right? That's
Yeah,
how they could sell it. So
right.
it's definitely adventurous for sure.
And you need to know a farmer. You need to know a farmer or
Yes.
like a farmer's market or something.
Yep.
Um, so that's kind of fun. But um,
Is it a different consistency too, or is it pretty similar?
what do you think, Jason?
I haven't had milk for such a long time, so it's hard for me to say, but it's definitely thicker. It's almost when I make the protein shake, it's like a thick milkshake, which is amazing because I wouldn't drink milkshakes because milk just didn't sit well with me. So I guess a
Right.
little maybe thicker, I guess more closer to whole milk, I guess. But
Hmm.
I haven't had milk in so long, it's hard for me to compare it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'd assume it's at too, is more like a whole milk style, kind of a thicker milk. And I believe, Jason, let me know if I'm wrong on this. I could be, but I believe the whole thing is it's just not pasteurized.
Exactly.
That's
It's
it.
just literally like from the cow,
Yeah.
bottled, and that's it. Yeah.
Right. So they're not heating it up and
Nope.
killing the bacteria in it
Right.
because milk naturally has bacteria in it, obviously. And the idea with the raw milk is you're getting a lot of good probiotics with it naturally. And the idea with the raw milk, the reason that people like it is they're not burning those probiotics off. Now, the reason that it's illegal technically in the United States to sell it at grocery stores is because of that same thing, is because there is bacteria in it. So there's probably a little bit more of a risk that you get some bad bacteria in it, right? So you kind of are just look into it if you are going to go that route. I don't want to say yes for sure do it or no don't do it either way. Let you just leave that up to yourselves and um yeah, try that out if you guys want to. Now, okay. Any other questions or anything else, guys? That was really good stuff.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Think I'm good.
Okay. Good. Now, let me just end with one more thing really quick here is that if you guys are going to do a protein powder and you're lactose intolerant or you have some dairy issues with dairy specifically, you're going to want to not choose a cow-based protein product. So you're going to want to specifically find something that's not a whey protein and it's not a casein protein, right? So Kelly, you've probably found like you got to use at one point we were using egg protein. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're still doing that or if you're kind of using a vegetable protein now.
Um, like I am using a different one than what I
Mhm.
had gotten with you.
Yep.
Um, It's it's got like pea protein and
There you go.
rice protein. I can't remember what it all is, but there's no there's no dairy.
Yep.
There's no um whey.
Yep.
It's the one that I get at you can get it at Costco. And actually I've had pretty good luck with it's the Orgains
Okay.
like one.
Nice.
So that one seems to be okay for me. And I've been using that for I don't know, maybe it's probably been a year and a half, 2 years already.
Nice. Good.
So I am pretty good with that.
Good. Perfect. Perfect. And then I'm going to say something with that too, because Kelly is specifically not using dairy, so she's avoiding whey protein. She's avoiding casein protein. Now, if you are okay with dairy, typically, right? I know we're kind of going down the protein trail right now, but that's okay. What you want to do is they've been shown that the whey protein is your best option if your body can handle it well. So if you guys don't have an issue with it causing stomach issues, the whey protein is going to be your best option. I'm only saying that avoid the whey protein if it causes stomach issues, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a nuance right there too. Is you guys we got to just do what we can. Everybody's a little bit different, and that's why we have these calls and we have these conversations. So, okay, guys, is there any other questions, or should we call that a day today?
I'm good.
Feeling good. All right. Perfect. We're going to call that a day today. Next week, I'd love to have you guys back on and we'll talk about, remember the challenge for this week is 7 nights in a row with 7 or more hours of sleep. And remember, my biggest challenge for you guys this week is to carve out specifically what are the hours, what are the 8 hours that I'm going to give myself to sleep per night? You guys all have maybe slightly different numbers. Maybe Jason is 6, but everybody carve that time out, write it down, and try to follow that this week to the best of your ability. Train in that this week. And next week we'll talk about it and we'll give each other some feedback, some advice, and that'll be a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys being on here. Have a great week. Go crush it. And I'll see you guys next Saturday.
Thanks, Derek.
Yep.
Thanks, Eric.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye.